creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Wow, look at that. Ooh.
If you
I just want to know, how is there casually 150 feet wave? And how does this not scare everyone watching?
have psoriasis, it's not a skin issue, it's actually a belly issue because 70% of your immune system is in your belly. When psoriasis flares up, it's your body's immune system going a little haywire and attacking your own cells. And this is often due to an unhealthy gut or an imbalance in your microbiome. So many things can trigger dysbiosis, an unhealthy gut, a yeast overgrowth, use of antibiotics, a bad virus, head trauma, stress. Whatever it is that caused your leaky gut now makes you sensitive to certain foods, and that food triggers inflammation and an autoimmune response, in this case, psoriasis. And that's why creams only provide temporary relief, because the issue is in your belly. To truly help your skin, you have to identify the triggers and heal your belly first. Otherwise, all the creams in the world are not going to help. I hope this helps. I'll talk to you soon.
Almost everything seems to start from the belly. So I'm gonna watch what I eat.
Okay, breaking news. Japan has just been hit by a powerful 7.1 magnitude earthquake, and it has now also triggered a tsunami warning. So authorities are warning residents immediately to leave certain coastal areas close to the epicenter until the warning is being lifted. Videos from inside a mall showing people who freaking know the drill by now. They're crouching down, clothes are swinging back and forth, and other footage shows cars stopped at a red light. Shaking pretty forcefully. But unlike, thankfully, the one that they had on the first day of 2024 that killed 240 people, this one doesn't seem to have done any major structural damage to buildings or nuclear plants. But, of course, I'll keep you guys updated as this develops.
Anyone from Japan wants to share their experience? Please drop a comment.
50 Cent is a menace. This dude just won $1 billion lawsuit on a drug kingpin. Dude claimed that 50 Cent stole his life and put it in the show Power. Responded by suing him for defamation. And the fact that he won this shit, bro, 50 is different.
He didn't win $1 billion. He was being sued for $1 billion. And he won that. Means you don't have to pay nothing.
You come to know Christ.
Hell, I was kissing hell. I was making love to hell. I was adopted by hell. I was going through hell at the height of everything. I was winning Super Bowls, playing in World Series, doing my thing, but had no peace, no joy. Didn't feel like no one loved me but my kids. The only thing that I felt like was real and authentic and loved me because they the only one who knew me. You could sleep in the bed with 2 and 3 women and nobody's satisfied. You got 100 suits, you can't cover up the pain. You got 300, 400, 500 pairs of shoes, you can't take a step in the right direction. You got 9 or 10 cars in the driveway, you ain't going nowhere. You got a 15,000 square foot house, but you ain't got a home. By the time you get to the bottom, because God is calling you collect, and you do not want to accept the charges because you know it's going to cost you something. I've trusted man, I've trusted woman, I've trusted child, I've trusted people, places, and things. And every last one of them have somehow, some way or another let me down. But not Jesus. But not Jesus. Not one day, not one time, not one moment.
You can have everything the world offers and still be empty.
People that are heavy or have too much fat, I'll tell you what I told Rosenberg and Blayback. Blayback and Rosenberg lost a lot of weight. Other guys have lost a lot of weight, and women have lost a lot of weight the following way. I just give the following instruction. Just say, you can eat meat, fish, eggs, fruit, and vegetables. You're not going to eat bread, pasta, rice, tortillas, anything else. If it's not in that short list, water, coffee, or tea are fine. You're not eating it. What you find is that people who've been eating a lot of processed foods and excess carbohydrates and fats together, when they switch to eating meat, fish, eggs, vegetables, and fruit, and nothing else, except of course drinking enough water, coffee. No, you're not drinking alcohol. No, you're not drinking milk, etc. What you find is they lose a lot of fat very, very quickly, very fast, mostly because they bring their caloric intake down below what they need each day in terms of their activity. They're in a caloric deficit, as it's called, but they're very sated. Protein is very satiating. You have a ribeye steak, you don't really want a second, but you could have a second one and a salad and you're good. Then watch, you eat one bite of pasta or bread and all of a sudden you're hungry for more of that. And this has to do with the way that carbohydrates impact our appetite. I'm not demonizing carbohydrates. This is not a ketogenic diet. But what you find is, and Jacob will attest, that they lose 10 pounds in the first week. Some of that's water weight, but that gets them headed in the right direction. And then, of course, they should also walk if you can't do cardiovascular exercise like running or biking or skateboarding or whatever. They should walk a lot. Everyone should probably walk a lot, unless you're pushing a lot, skateboarding around a lot, or cycling a lot or something. Then they start exercising a little bit, and then they start doing some resistance training, and they start realizing, whoa, like this is quote unquote easy. And they're recovering from exercise, and they're sleeping better, and they're feeling better, and everything's better. Libido is better, mood is better. It's like, whoa. And they go like, how come everybody doesn't know about this? Well, it's not like a specific diet that you could market. I don't even know what you would call it. And again, I have nothing vested in this. There's no book about this, but there must be a dozen or more people that I've handed this idea off to directly that have lost, and again, anywhere from probably 20 to, in Mike's case, 60 pounds and kept it off for years.
I'm a runner and I have to have some carbs or I get feeling faint. Hey, how about a brown rice? Anyone knows, is brown rice good? That is probably the best catch of a comment with a genuine human, interaction that there will ever be. This clip will end up on history recaps.
Almost looks like a Russian doll, a doll within the doll.
Officers have broken apart a lead box, which was hidden in the air conditioning unit.
It's a nice little box. Looks like 1, 2, 3 or 4 layers. Plus, have you counted the outer shell of the AC? About 5.
Inside are 4 large packages of crystal meth.
Ooh.
And there's still another unit to check out.
Hold on. On to the next.
The show provides a gripping look at border security.
We're gonna do the same thing with this one, just flip it.
Yeah.
Having fine-tuned their method on the first unit,
That was nice.
officers now know exactly how to break into the second.
Usually this is the way it goes. As we're working one, we find easier ways on the second one.
The agent's expertise in detecting contraband is unparalleled.
Taking away the layers. There she is.
This is the 4th AC unit containing crystal meth intercepted in the past month.
The show's tension makes it impossible to look away.
And the officers' awareness of cartel trends has paid off.
The agent's dedication to stopping smuggling is evident.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bundles. We're gonna wait over here.
The street value of this haul is over $3 million.
I gotta tip over, watch out. Under 2.60 kilos. It's a good seizure.
Great job, guys. But I think that is keeping them busy so the real loads get through. What do you think?
Hi, what are you doing? Are you homeless?
Yeah, I stayed here to get out of the rain last night.
Enjoy your time, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Compassion is a rare and a wonderful thing. And look at the dog doing his big stretch.
So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Olympics mocking the Last Supper. And if you're an LGBTQ plus member and you're going to get offended, I don't care. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a prime example. Let me get out the camera so you can see it. Is exactly why I do not support the LGBT community. Because let me tell you something. If Christians were to mock a gay person, or a lesbian, or someone that's trans, or bisexual, y'all would be burning down the churches. You would be rioting and protesting and crying and screaming and acting like liberal. But it's okay for you guys to dress up like women and mock something that is a protected attribute to humankind. Christianity is a very powerful thing, and I'm tired of watching people in the community I used to represent mocking something just because one person told you that being gay was a sin. It is a sin. Me wearing makeup and having nails and being feminine is a sin. But what you fail to realize is all sins are equal in the eyes of God. But this is blasphemy. This is disgusting. And this is exactly why the power went out in Paris during the Olympics, because God is great. You know, I thought long and hard about making this video because I knew the sensitive liberals were going to start coming at me with their twisted tongues, but I can't stay here and let this be not talked about. It's disgusting and sick. And like I said earlier, y'all would have a field day if Christians or the Pope or the Catholics made a joke or a remark or mocked or made fun of gay people or trans people. You would have a field day. So why do y'all think it's okay to mock something that is as historically beautiful as the Last Supper? Do you really think when you have Judgment Day that God is going to remember? You think he's not going to remember this? Because it's literally blasphemy. And like, it's sickening that people are supporting it. It's sickening that these celebrities are supporting this. Because like I said a million times, this is not okay. And I'm not going to sit here and stand for something like this, especially when you're attacking our religion. I'm a gay man and I have a great relationship with Jesus Christ and God. So seeing this on TV, on international TV, while I'm on vacation, really drove the wedge further in for me to not support the LGBT. The only thing I support is the Let's Go Brandon movement. The only thing I support is the truth. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of the downfall of human civilization. Because it's sickening and disgusting that so many of you are so comfortable and so approving of something that is so dark and evil. With that being said, Christians, I'm so sorry that this is happening, and God is good, and I cannot wait for Judgment Day, because all of these people that are supporting this movement, shame on you.
I've seen a lot of people say it's supposed to depict something in Greek mythology, but I feel like that's just a scapegoat. And I'm confused about you, bro. If you know you in Christ, you need to repent. We are not perfect. Repent means changing your mind every day. So if you know that you are not aligned with Christ, you need to make that alignment. You cannot be in sin and have a great relationship with Christ. It doesn't mix. Okay?
Of the day, 4 duck eggs, 1 scrambled goose egg, and beef liver, and some salt. Now, somebody says, Eddie, your food is very bland. That's because my taste buds are not as yours. I've been eating simple food for years now. Guys, wake the up and start eating properly. Let's go.
I like ducks. I made my noodles with duck eggs. These riots are stupid. What's points messing up your own country?
Did you know there's a word you can call someone who acts as though they know a lot on a topic when in reality they know very little? A sciolist is a person whose knowledge is limited or superficial, but pretentiously makes out as though they know a lot more. Also known as a pretender of learning. It comes from Latin sciolus, meaning to possess only superficial knowledge. For example, in a sentence, the internet and social media is filled with health and fitness sciolists. So how would you use sciolist in a sentence?
Came across this, and I had to say something because this is just ridiculous. Ex-wife of Dwayne Wade, basketball legend, basketball superstar, got $5 million in their divorce settlement, and he got custody of the kids. She gets $5 million. Now, that's a divorce settlement. That $5 million is tax-free. And she's blown it all. And she's now holding up a sign saying, hey, I'm homeless. Dwayne Wade, I need your help. I'm sorry, ma'am, you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to go and get a job, do something, because this is absolutely ridiculous. If you take $5 million and you put it in a money market fund, a mutual fund, you put it in the bank, something very conservative, you can live off of the interest very well for the rest of your life. Most people don't even get a chance to get $1 million at one time. She got $5 million tax-free, and you telling me you can't figure out a way to make that work for the rest of life? Come on now. Now, the question is, should Dwayne Wade help her? He has custody of the kids. The kids are not with her. So I say she needs to be a responsible adult and get up and go and make it happen. Because at the end of the day, when someone gives you that type of money and you blow it, it doesn't matter if they give you more money. You're going to blow that as well because you're not a good steward of money. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.
5 million in index funds with 10% returns equal 500,000 a year to live on.
Hi. He's coming into the
What is that, George?
Best day of her life right there.
The Bible tells you if you want your plans to succeed in this life, you have to do one thing first. In Proverbs chapter 16, it says this: commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Now, what does it mean to commit your work to the Lord? What that means is you are saying, God, this project, this job, this thing that I've been working so hard on, this degree means so much to me. Yet I'm choosing to put it on the altar. And I'm still going to work hard at it. But I'm going to commit my work to you. I'm going to work for you, Lord. And I'm going to check in with you every step of the way. I'm not just going to run off on my own. And what he says is your plans will be established. It's a paradox. When you actually bring them to the Lord, he gives it back to you.
Living by grace through faith from now to eternity in all areas of your life.
Is how much each country pays their Olympic athletes.
Starting with the host, France have increased their prize money to $86,000 for gold. USA pays $37,500. Canada are looking at about $16,000. Great Britain pay a whopping total of $0.
Oh, because of studying sport, I thought all countries didn't pay.
That's what I thought.
Hong Kong is paying gold medal winners a staggering
There you
$780,000
go.
an incentive to win and to even go. Wait, they paid up to 8th, bro.
Bro, up to 8th, you get 48 bags.
How do we get
48
nationality
bags.
there? I'll run. What? I'll do triple jump.
Broski.
Listen, how do I get citizenship?
Broski.
Promised their last two gold medal winners 5 cows, a meatball restaurant, and a new house. Oh, and $350,000.
That's cold, bro.
I like that.
Malaysia are giving out a foreign-made car. Kazakhstan are going for 3, 2, or 1-bedroom apartments. For our rapid fire, we've got South Africa, Spain, Germany, Italy, Australia, and Thailand. Oh, and if you're wondering,
you guys gotta see this. I was driving by, and there's this little girl out here with this giant dog flying a sign asking for money. Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, we're just hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Well, here. Here, you can have this.
Thank you.
But can I ask you a question?
What?
Where are your parents?
My dog ate them.
Ate them? What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Seem as the dog knows you, bro.
I don't know why the opportunity to make money just follows me everywhere I go. I was just over here fishing, and this big piece of driftwood right here just washed up right onto the beach from these winds and the waves and everything, just pushed it up here. And I started looking at it, and I was like, man, look, it's got ropes and all kinds of stuff hanging off of it. And I'm thinking in my head, this is a hazard. So I called the city, and I told them, hey, I just bought a house in the area, and I know your crews are busy, but this is going to cause an impact to your environment and the animals around because it's got ropes and all kinds of stuff on it. And he said, well, what do you think we should do? And I said, hey, lucky for you, I got tools. I keep tools everywhere I go. I can get this cut up and have it off the beach in the next 2 hours for $8,000. And he said, wow, man, that's great. get it done. And I told him that usually I would use a gas chainsaw to cut this up, but since I'm out here on this beautiful beach, I don't want to run the risk of spilling gas or oil anywhere on this beach to contaminate anything. So for that being said, I'm gonna have to use my electric chainsaw, and it's gonna take longer to cut because I might have to go through 2 batteries. But to be eco-friendly, it's gonna be a $1,500 upcharge. And he said, we don't mind paying that. We're glad that you're gonna take care of this for us. As you can see, the tide is coming in. So I told him this needs to be done ASAP, because the higher the water comes in, there's more creatures that are gonna be able to get this rope to get tangled up. So I told him, since the water's coming in so fast, I'm gonna have to do it now. And there's gonna be a $2,500 upcharge for getting this done with the water coming in. He understood that, and he's just thankful that I just bought a house on this island, and I'm gonna help them take care of this city, take care of this town. Upcharge, baby. Get your money.
You should have upcharged for the call, another $8,000.
Did someone capture this video of Paul Walker in between this supposed deadly car crash and going into hiding?
Well, it wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me. No, this is. Now you're playing with me. I swear to God. You swear? Okay. They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me.
Now, what's interesting to me is not too long after that car crash, a certain person came onto the scene and all of a sudden started directing movies. A certain person by the name of Tim Ballard. Maybe you've heard of him. He directed The Sound of Freedom. And he resembles someone an awful lot. So much so that you barely realize there are 2 different faces there. And while you can change some things easily, like a beard and even the color of the eyes, and even haircuts and nose and ear size can be manipulated, sometimes there's just too many things to catch them all. Especially those pesky little birthmarks. 2 there, and 2 there, and 2 there, and 2 there. And let's see if there's another pair. Oh, those look interesting. Let's see what we find over here. Oh, interesting. But so their faces are symmetrical and they share the exact locations of 6 different birthmarks. It's not like they have the same mannerisms or anything. Oh, in this video I showed you at the beginning, it was actually taken 2 months before he supposedly died, and it was a TMZ video, but I captured your attention, and it's a lesson that you can't believe everything you're told. Do your own research, people, and this was all for entertainment purposes anyway. I know that he perished in that 1-person, 1-car accident. God rest his soul. Now, I'm not here to manipulate you, and I have no agenda but truth, but I'm just here to show you how easy it is. Now watch the full video and realize that he wasn't anything close to talking about the car accident.
It wasn't a David off cool water? That's all made up. All made up? What? So you just randomly had some chick spraying you with oil? Well, that wasn't even me. It was some other dude. They thought it was me. No, this is. Now you're playing with me. I swear to God. You swear? Okay. They thought it was me, and it wasn't even me. I love this. Because I did the campaign before. Yeah. And they're like, oh, but no, it's not even me. In the so maybe David off picked some dude trying to a knockoff Paul Walker. Yeah, they got it. They got a guy for a better price. You're cool. That was. I think his name was Johnny.
Just because that video wasn't any thought doesn't mean this isn't what you think. But do your own research, people. I'm just here to inform and entertain.
Can you explain why they would do that? I mean, he was already famous, and then he started all over again. And not to mention how loved he was too.
To myself, I've been scared to let you know what to do. And it's your fault that I have to catch my breath.
Boy went to Corbin Blue to Bobby Womack. And who edited the Velcro sound? Genius.
Bible is breaking out in the Hollywood industry as famous actors are now coming to Christ and sharing their testimonies. Jon Voight, famous Hollywood actor and father of Angelina Jolie, shares how this powerful encounter he had where he heard the audible voice of God is what led him to dedicate his life to Jesus. Jon Voight was going through a tough divorce as well as a struggling career. Thinking he was home alone, he cried out saying, "It's so difficult," where he claimed he heard the audible voice of God respond to him saying, "It's supposed to be difficult." Shortly after this encounter, Voight started praying and started receiving answers to his prayers in a supernatural way. After multiple divine encounters from God, he became a Christian and is now a devout follower of Jesus. After much prayer, Voight's career is now successful again, starring in the new Reagan movie, which is a film based on the presidency of Ronald Reagan and the history of the United States of America.
I don't get it. Why?
Pay attention, because this is why castor oil is the holy grail.
Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates it can break up lumps, bumps, adhesions. So great for cysts in the breast, for breast cancer, great for irritable bowel, great for constipation. It's very good at breaking up stones in the gallbladder, kidney stones, bone spurs. If the bone spur has been there 3 years, it might take 3 months. If the bone spur's been there 3 months, it might take 3 weeks. Little by little, the body heals, so be patient.
Just so we're clear though, I'm not a doctor, I'm not qualified to give medical advice, but what I do want to do is open the door for more people, for them to see the power of natural healing and to show them that modern medicine, as we call it, isn't always the way to go, and there are other options.
I love castor oil. I use it for everything.
Top 10 worst food companies that lying about their products in USA 2024. Part 1, number 10, Hershey's. Hershey's has been found to have unsafe levels of lead and cadmium in its chocolate, posing serious health risks such as neurological damage and reproductive harm. Additionally, Hershey's has spent over $1 million to obscure the presence of GMOs in its products. Their most popular treats contain many modified ingredients, highlighting their lack of transparency and commitment to consumer health. Number 9, PepsiCo. PepsiCo continues to use 4-methylamidazole, 4-mel, a carcinogen, in its formula despite vowing to change it following a California law mandate. The company also opposes GMO labeling laws, investing millions in celebrity endorsements to distract from associations with obesity, diabetes, and cancer. A 2014 study revealed Pepsi contains even more sugar fructose than previously believed, further contributing to health concerns. Number 8, Kellogg's. Kellogg's has faced backlash for its aggressive pro-GMO stance, spending over $1 million on anti-organic media propaganda to defeat GMO labeling initiatives in several states. Instead of changing course, Kellogg's doubled down, with its products now containing 100% GMO corn, which includes traces of harmful glyphosate and Bt toxins. This approach highlights the company's disregard for consumer health concerns and transparency.
And people will just continue to buy their products like everything is normal. We, the consumer, are to blame. It looks like CGI. Anyone from the area would like to confirm this? Please drop a comment.
So first of all, we have this cabbage harvester, which can do the job of 15 people. I mean, imagine picking them one by one. This thing just scoops them all up, does it pretty fast.
That's crazy.
There it goes. Gets kind of like peeled too, goes up some steps. If you wanted to hand pick all these oranges from the tree, it would take a pretty long time. Luckily, we have the upside down umbrella orange collector truck. And what it does is it wraps a little umbrella and it shakes.
Nice.
We have this machine that turns corn stalks into high quality silage. It just glides through the cornfields. This is like every corn farmer's dream car. You know, some people want Rolls Royces or Bugattis. I'm pretty sure that corn harvesters dream about having this car, or machine, or vehicle, whatever you want to call it. It saves a lot of time. All these things are pretty expensive. If you guys know the price of any of these, by the way, let me know. I was mind blown when I saw this video. This thing just literally scoops out hundreds of carrots at a time. Look at them all just rolled up. This is wild to me. Like, it's literally an army of carrots just being scooped up.
Ooh.
This next machine is for radishes. And what it does is it first kind of collects them again in rows similar to the carrots. It then separates them independently, and then it groups them back together into little batches. Now, maybe I'm a bit disconnected, but I've never seen, I had no idea that radishes had that extremely long tip. I only know radishes from the ones I see at the supermarket. So yeah, first time seeing that really long dangly thing. All right, next up, my favorite vegetable, some call it a fruit, I think it is a fruit, tomatoes. This is a tomato collector, and it can pick up to 80 tons of tomatoes per hour.
Ooh.
I mean, even for a Spanish person, like, I probably won't consume that much in my entire lifetime. That's a lot of tomatoes.
Wow.
This is like a tractor that's collecting, are those like really big lemons? What is that? Oh, these are pumpkins. Okay, these are pumpkins. And what it does is it's collecting pumpkins like with like spikes. Wait, why would you want smashed up pumpkins? So what they're doing is they're taking the seeds and then they're collecting them, packaging them and sending them around the world. And the rest of the pumpkin can just be there, I guess, for bird food, or maybe they do something else with it.
Yep. That's why nothing tastes good anymore. It was joy to pick with your own hands and give some love and emotion in food.
This is our last warning, as it has been raining deadly baseball-sized ice from our sky, strong enough to dent bone, and there's nowhere to take shelter. People were terrified after Calgary, Canada, suddenly out of nowhere hailed huge baseball-sized ice from the sky that was able to shake and rattle houses, completely shattered cars, and this is becoming more common. Haunting videos show home windows completely shattered, home rooftops ripped into, cars with baseball-sized holes in the windows, and huge dents on steel doors, with experts reporting the hail was dropping at a force of a staggering 67 miles per hour, strong enough to impale or fatally end a person's life. And this was sustained for a shocking over half an hour. With many people not even getting enough time to fully run to shelter, as there were no signs of this beforehand. Experts leave a haunting warning that it seems these hailstorms are becoming as common as rain in the US and Canada due to climate change.
Teach my son how to make $9 million. Watch this. This is a 128 unit complex here. The average rent right now is $995. 128 times $995.
Okay, got 127,360.
Times that 92% occupancy.
117,000.
Times that by 12.
1.4 million.
That's the gross operating income with the 8% vacancy. This property here, they're saying it's running $5,700 in expenses a year. It's going to be $6,100 with the tax reassessment. Mine is $6,100 times 128.
All right, we at 625,000.
Okay, what's that building worth at a 7 cap?
All right, we're going to divide this by 0.07 to get what it's worth at a 7% capitalization rate. It's worth 8.9 million.
So I think we're going to offer them $8 million for it. So we're going to come in and we're going to renovate it. The market rents are $13.95, but we're going to have to put about 20,000 a unit in to get it up to market. So tell me what that building's worth, $13.95. If we can keep the expenses in line of where they're at.
So I'm going to take $1,395 for rent. So we got our gross operating income for a month. So let's times 178,000 times 12 to get it in a year. We got 2.1 million, but we got to times that by 95% occupancy rate. We're at 2 million minus expenses are probably going to be the same, so minus 6,100 times 128 units. We're at 1.2 million divided by, we're probably going to be at a lower cap rate now because we renovated, so probably at 0.65. So divide that by 0.065. Building's worth 19 million.
We could pick it up for 8. So 20,000 a unit to renovate, and if we can pick it up for 8 million and we got 200,000 in closing costs, what's our net profit going to be on that building?
We're going to be all in for 10.7 and we said 19 million, so we're going to be profiting close to $9 million off that.
No brainer, even if we got to give them the 8.9 million. That's how you make a ton of money in real estate. That's the they should be teaching you in school right there, man.
How to make $9 million. Step 1. Have $8 million. Plus $4,000 for shipping.
This is heart failure. Yes, we're looking at the foot, but here you're about to see pitting edema. That happens when there's too much fluid accumulating in the tissues and the heart can't pump it out, or the kidneys can't eliminate it. And fluid can also build up in the lungs, making it difficult to breathe.
Well, we're at it. That is not always heart failure. Lots of condition can cause that. You know, my brother-in-law just passed like 2 months ago from kidney failure. He had swollen feet also.
I unlocked some sort of superpower on that day. I stopped my vehicle, put the window down and say, "Hey buddy, do you want a lift?" Something compelled me to pick him up to say, "Do you want a lift?" So a big smile and he runs over and gets into the car. Reaches into his pocket. My internal spider sense is not triggered here. I don't feel threatened or anything, I don't feel, and he pulls out this big dagger, curved, but they had a double tip. So I had 2 tips at the end, which I'd never seen. And I just smile and say, "You're not going to try and kill me with that, are you?" And he's like, No, I'm not going to kill you. This is a coward when I'm traveling on this road in case I come across any demons or evil spirits. It comes in very handy." And he chuckles to himself and puts it away. "Judging how you're dressed, I take it you're going into the city." And he's like, No. Please just drop me off at the first village we come to." As we come to a stop, he opens the door, and then as his foot hits the ground, something happens. His foot hits the ground and his face changes. When I say changes, it's still the same man. But it's a bit like if I was, you know, when someone offends you and you pull the face, like if I'm going from smiling, you'd be like all serious, like what? And then he said, "Chris." And when he said Chris, I felt it in my heart. It wasn't loud, but it was loud. He's like, "Chris, may God bless you many times this day." And then like that, his face just snapped out of it. And he's like, "Thank you, thanks. Back in his normal voice, normal face. And he closed the door and I drove off. A few hours later, 5 terrorists attacked the Dusit D2 hotel complex. But from the moment I dropped that man off, everything was perfect.
How many people did that individual that looks like he's safe?
Allegedly, people say 700.
I feel like a huge part of the story is missing, but I believe some have entertained angels and they don't even know it.
Police just found 300 million rand worth of crystal meth at an apartment in Johannesburg, but that's not all they found. This South African businessman, Ashraf Kaka, was kidnapped 3 weeks ago outside a mosque in Helderkrane and was being held for ransom. Kidnappers were allegedly demanding millions for his release. Police also found him and 8 kidnappers were arrested. They include 3 Tanzanian nationals. And the war on drugs in South Africa keeps going. Earlier this week, police arrested a drug mule at the OR Tambo International Airport. He had 1 million rand worth of cocaine strapped to his body and he had just entered the country from Brazil. What more should police do to stop these criminal syndicates? We are seen. Are you?
Unfortunately, while there is a demand, there will be a supply. Punishment is not high enough in South Africa. They should do it like in Indonesia or Bangkok, death penalty.
Grant Cardone definitely wasn't expecting this.
My name's Francis Cook. So I'm a small fish in a big pond. I have a mindset question. So I took out 2 loans to get here today. I don't even have money for a hotel. Slept
Give
in
him
my
a
car.
big hand, guys.
Yes, I've slept in my car the past 2 nights, but I just wanted to show up. So my question is, how do you 10x your mindset to break through that fear of just like getting to the next point?
It seems to me like you've already done that. You need to pick up a check. I would tell you, before today is over, you should get somebody to give you $500.
There we go. Will that work? Will that work?
There's a million different messages I could preach from this, but here's the one that I want to share. No matter what you're going through, God can turn it around in an instant. Send this to somebody who needs it.
This is awesome. This is how it should be. Bless others even through your trials. God is good. Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
Alexa, why did the frequency of music change from 432 to 440?
In the early 1900s, the frequency of music was changed from 432 Hz to 440 Hz. The frequency was changed because 432 Hz was considered to be a frequency that calms the nerves and lowers the blood pressure. However, 440 Hz is a frequency that makes the nerves tingle and raises the blood pressure.
Well, that's a little odd. Why would the standardization of music change from 440 to 432? If 432 made you feel really good and 440 raised your blood pressure. I don't know what the hell is going on. Hashtag Rockefeller.
Therefore, 440 Hz became the standard frequency for music.
Who funded the standardization of music?
The standardization of music was funded and controlled by corporations within the music industry. As the music industry progressed, it became increasingly monopolized and controlled by a small number.
Did the Rockefeller Foundation fund the standardization of music frequency?
Yes, the Rockefeller Foundation played a significant role in the standardization of music frequency. In 1939, the foundation sponsored a conference on music education in Europe, where the recommendation to tune Western music to A440 Hz was made. This frequency became the basis for the international standard for music frequency, and it is still widely used today.
Did Prince ever talk about the golden ratio of frequency?
He, like the annotator of Pacioli's Euclid, knows that the ratio of adjacent terms of the Fibonacci sequence tends to the golden ratio, and he states this explicitly in a letter he wrote.
Alexa, did John Lennon tune his piano to 432 frequency?
From WordPress.com. In fact, he had his piano tuned to the 432 Hz calibration.
These are the 5 most disgusting crimes committed by actors. Number 5, Mark Wahlberg. As a teenager, Mark Wahlberg committed several racially motivated hate crimes. At 15, him and his friends threw rocks at black children. And then at 17, under the influence of PCP, Wahlberg attacked 2 separate Vietnamese men, calling one a racial slur and beating him with a stick until it broke. And then later punched another man in the eye, supposedly blinding him. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison, but only served 45 days. Number 4, Woody Allen. In the 1980s, Woody Allen entered into a relationship with the actress Mia Farrow. Mia Farrow had 7 children, both biological and adopted, and they were together for 12 years while they both raised Farrow's children. However, in 1992, Mia Farrow called it off when she found a stack of nude photographs that he had taken of her 21-year-old adopted daughter. Later in the same year, a daughter of Woody Allen and Mia Farrow came forward with an allegation of molestation that took place when she was 7. That claim's highly contested, but regardless, soon after the allegation, Woody Allen and his ex's adopted daughter, who he raised, went public. She was 21 years old, he was 57.
People who have hazel eyes are usually like a combination of like brown, green, kind of a little bit of gold. If you have a touch of gold in your eyes, it's a solar connection. You're a solar baby. You draw your power from the sun, so pay attention to the sun. You have solar magic in your veins. You have an ability to accumulate a lot of solar light and emanate it into the world. Even if you just have specks of gold in your irises, what empowers you is the metal gold. So wear a lot of the metal gold. That would help center you and amplify your energy. You are also a healer. You can heal people's souls and you can help heal people's emotions, right? So it's not just the physical healing. You can go deeper in terms of the level. Because of that, you're also quite magical. You may communicate with animals, have an easier time understanding animals. You may have altruistic tendencies tendencies. You have a little bit of a savior complex. Golden-eyed people, hazel-eyed people tend to be very mission-driven, so you need to understand exactly who you came here to help.
What's a really weird fact about the world?
Switzerland, it's actually against the law to have a single guinea pig.
Change this scene to a beautiful drone shot of the Swiss mountains.
Switzerland, it's actually against the law to have a single guinea pig.
Change the man's voice to a woman's voice.
So, to keep them happy and healthy,
add subtitles.
Swiss law says you need to have at least 2 of these furry friends.
Now let's add my own voice.
Think of it as the buddy system for guinea pigs. And guess what?
Translate this into Spanish.
Si uno de tus cobayas fallece y te queda solo uno.
Create this video for Instagram.
Stay curious, folks. Catch you in the next fun fact.
If you want to try this for free, comment in video and I'll send you the link.
What is Invideo AI on App Store?
One of the most ruthless cartels in all of history, Pablo Escobar's cartel. At the height of the Medellin cartel, they were bringing in over, I mean, this figure is insane. I had to triple check because I'm like, there's no way. They're bringing in $200 million a day in profits. The king of Pablo Escobar was said at his height to be making $2 billion a year in personal income, of course tax-free. At their height, they were supplying 96% of the US's consumption and controlled 90% of the global market. They basically ruled Colombia, if not the world. Side note, they were also very creative people. Okay, I don't know if they founded this technique, but they definitely made a killing from it. They would soak denim jeans that you wear in liquid. I didn't even know it came in liquid, okay? They would soak it in liquid, dry off the jeans, export them legally through shipping containers into the US, where they had special chemists that would work with them, that would get the jeans, simply wash them with a special liquid compound that would pull out the liquid cocaine and separate it from the rest of the liquid, and then they would dry it into powder cocaine. The cartel learned how to train carrier pigeons to deliver secretive mail to one another as a way to communicate. They had a ton of pigeons around, and it's estimated that they murdered, at the very least, 4,000 people during their reign as the kings of Colombia. Many of them were innocent people.
I learned about Pablo from the Netflix show, Narcos.
What is the Skull and Bones Secret Society? Yale University, which is the third oldest institution in the United States, was created for the purpose of public employment in both the church and the civil state. At least, that's what the mainstream media tells you. Well, here's the reality. This university was made by the elites to educate the leaders of this university and employ them in the secret society, Skull and Bones. Education system. Every year, 15 new members from the junior classes are offered the membership. Famous people like George Bush and John Kerry are a part of this society. In 1918, a student of the Yale University dug up the grave of the famous Apache leader, Geronimo, and took his skull and 2 bones, which are now at the display at the headquarters of the Skull and Bones. Their headquarters, which is known as the Tomb, is located in the campus itself, and due to its secrets, it's locked from any known member of the secret society. Until this day, no one has ever broken into that place. The rituals in this secret society often includes black magic and similar practices which are done in other secret societies to invoke jinns. What's crazy? People claim that this group was behind Kennedy's assassination, and they are so powerful that they even control the CIA.
There are so much mysteries and so much hidden knowledge that the elites are hiding.
This tip can save your life. If you're ever kidnapped, you can absolutely get out of zip ties. This one's supposed to hold 260 pounds of force, so I'm going to show you how to get out of there. First step is tying the zip tie. Don't worry about the tape, it's just to protect myself as it cuts into the skin a little bit. I'm doing this quite a lot, so yeah. With these big zip ties, you're gonna slam it on your shin. Shin is extremely hard and the best way to do it. And you're out.
What about being zip tied with your hands behind your back?
So what, you're on death row as well, correct? Yeah, so how long have you been down, bro? 23 years? Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, in the midst of a difficult season, you know what I mean, like being sentenced to death or waiting death row, what is something that you could say, like, God has been redeeming in your life? And in a difficult season like this, can you see God moving and working in your life in the midst of the chaos?
of two master strokes, two light strokes, and a mini stroke. I got a pink bleeding aneurysm in my brain.
That's real. So you're saying in the midst of all this, even in the midst of sickness, God's still been preserving your life and been keeping you, correct? Yeah, that's real, man. Anything you want to share to like the viewers, specifically like young men who are in society still and they're living the street lifestyles, you know what I mean? And they're headed down the path to prison. What could you?
I don't think he wants to be bothered, man.
Hey folks, if you've been listening to my videos and my lives, I've been telling you that August is going to be brutal. And buckle up, because we're in for something scary. Okay, number one, you've all seen my video on the Olympics and what happened at the opening ceremonies. Yeah, that just wasn't a performance. They're telling you what's coming down the pike here, just like they did in London 2012 Olympics. Now, keep that at the back of your mind. What happens here just about a week ago? That's right, the leader of Hezbollah gets assassinated, not in Gaza, but in Iran. They are livid, and they have over 1,000 missiles pointed towards Israel right now. Now, this may not make any sense to you until I explain it, but Hezbollah has vowed to destroy Israel on the 9th of Av. Well, what's the 9th of Av? The Hebrew month of Av, especially the 9th day, is the most terrible day in the Hebrew calendar. When you study the Old Testament and study Old Testament history and prophecy, you are going to see some things about the 9th of Av. Now, Av typically straddles July and August. So what happened on the 9th of Av? Noah's Ark, the destruction of the world with the flood, started on the 9th of Av. Well, it doesn't say the 9th of Av in there, Captain Cook. No, you got to start digging for it and do your work, and you figure out it's the 9th of Av. What else happened on the 9th of Av? Solomon's temple, the first temple, destroyed. What else happened on the 9th of Av? Herod's temple, the second temple during the time of Jesus, destroyed. Those are three major events. Now let's go back to the Olympics. It's foreshadowing the Great Tribulation. And what happens yesterday, Monday, the first Monday of August? Worldwide stock market crash. And what happened just before the beginning of August? The assassination attempt of Donald Trump, the only political leader out there who's not a globalist. Why do you think they wanted to crash the stock markets? I've been telling you for the last 2 years, they're going to crash the markets in order to bring in the one world currency. Do you notice that even crypto went down 20%? Oh yeah, and a year and a half ago, JP
Not XRP.
Morgan patented biometric payment systems. Ladies and gentlemen, August is going to be brutal. And if you haven't got right with Jesus Christ yet, you better get right with him right now. End times prophecies are coming at us faster than a coked up man with ADHD at a dodgeball tournament. When Jesus says in the book of Revelation, "Behold, I am coming soon," it doesn't mean I'm coming soon. You have to know what it says in the Greek. The Greek is takos. It means when you see these things revving up like a tachometer, I'm at the door. Look up, for your redemption draws nigh. Hold on, boys and girls. Buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a rocky ride. And don't eat the cookies.
This will be the war of Gog and Magog, but not the war of Armageddon that happens with Jesus' second coming. So buckle up, saints. We're fixing to shoot out of here.
A 14-year-old girl from Australia just won a gold medal in skateboarding. Now holds a record as the youngest person to win a gold medal. But this girl is smart. It's not enough to win a gold medal and make all of us proud. She managed to extract a promise from her father. The promise was that if I win a gold medal, I get to have a pet duck. That's right. In exchange for winning a gold medal, she gets to have a pet duck of her choice as her pet moving forward. And as a thank you from a grateful nation who feels incredibly indebted to her, I would like to say that if anyone reaches out from her camp, I will buy that duck. Happily, hand on heart, I will buy that duck. If her father changes his mind and says, look, I actually didn't mean that, she can come to me and I will represent her pro bono 100% to make sure he fulfills his conditional promise. Because if there is a person who deserves a duck anywhere on this planet, it's this amazing, amazing girl. Thank you, Arissa. You have a fan. Follow me for more legal TikTok.
I love this. Buy her as many ducks as she wants. Say Lil Uzi Vert multiple times and tell me what it sounds like.
Anyone ever seen this episode of The Simpsons, originally aired in 2001? Keep watching.
This mysterious monolith appeared in Utah. That's the monolith in Utah, which you could explain, I suppose, and say somebody just put it there. But then it appeared 38 more times all over the country.
Than answers. This one in particular, in 2020, a team of biologists are flying in a helicopter over the desert in southern Utah. They come upon this mysterious pillar dubbed a monolith.
Authorities are investigating another mysterious monolith found near a World Heritage Site. The roughly 10-foot tall structure was found over the weekend with the message, quote, "Look at the sky, see the moon," end quote.
Look at the sky, see the moon.
People with horse and wagon are supposed to build buildings like this. Doors 5 times their height, and the building's hundreds of feet tall. And even in a photo like this, doesn't even seem like they're using the building. $2,000 for these people. Seems like they just meet outside. They might not have figured out how to open this door yet. And we can see up here it says, Au grand homme. To the large humans, or to large men. So here we go. Are these large men? No. Very small. Small men in an early time period in front of this massive, massive building. Why? Because something happened. Something happened in between the completion of this building and the arrival of these people. And that's what we call the reset. And it's very clear. It should be clear. But some people will tell you, oh, no, this is totally normal.
It wasn't just the wagons. It was the massive amount of material they were, supposedly importing was never documented being exported from anywhere.
Well, are you Australian? G'day, mate. How the bloody heck are ya? You're a bloody dickhead. A real Australian. Bloomin' heck. Never thought I'd see the day.
She is cute. As non-native English speaker, the phrase "attaboy," where is that from? Australia? All right, folks. Thank you for staying till the end. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make a better content. There's a free gift below. And if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are in the description below. Have a prosperous day and God bless.